Thanks so much for joining us again today for another episode of Topkat Studios Sessions. My name's Robby De La Torre, and I'm so excited to present to you one of my colleagues, someone I've known and played with for just a couple years here in the Valley, DeSoto.
Hi.
Good to have you with us.
Glad to be here.
So what's the name of this new project that you've been working on?
I'm titling it Uninhibited.
Uninhibited.
That's
awesome.
the name of the album.
And it sounds uninhibited the way that he's playing and what he's performed too.
Yeah, it's definitely a project that has allowed me to be free, to be who I am as a composer, guitarist, just everything in general musically. It gets me away from the norm and from what I normally play and what I'm known for.
What you're more known for in the past,
Yes.
yeah. And you're going to share one of those songs with us today.
Yes.
And this is I think this is the debut, right?
It is. I have not played this particular song for anybody yet, any audience, live or recorded yet.
First time here at Topkat Studios. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, DeSoto, for
bet.
doing this for us. Let me get the track started. I want to preface this. He actually played almost every instrument, composed the entire thing, arranged the entire thing, right? Because you're going to hear tracks with his amazing guitar playing. And that's correct, right?
That is correct, yes.
So exciting. And what's the name of this one?
The name of the song is The Conquest.
The Conquest by DeSoto. That was so awesome. And so you totally wrote that song, The Conquest.
Yes, I did.
You
yes.
wrote that totally by yourself.
Right.
And you recorded, so all that was a track. Obviously, we don't usually use tracks here, but this is like he wrote and recorded pretty much everything all himself, except for just a couple instruments like the drum set or whatever.
I started out with MIDI drums or keyboard drums,
yeah.
and then I
So it was your
eventually replaced it
arrangement.
with a drummer, yes, and a bass player, but everything else, all the keyboard, synthesizers, loops,
All those beautiful piano runs.
all the piano, the strings, the horns, of course the guitars.
So you play a
it's
lot
all
of
me.
instruments.
So yeah.
What was your
Yeah,
first
yeah.
instrument?
Drums. I started out on drums.
Who says that, right? I mean, not
4
that-
years old.
So you started on drums
Yep.
at 4.
4, yeah.
What,
A
now
little Mickey Mouse set.
So that's so great. But you obviously play guitar and piano. So when did you pick up those instruments?
Piano, my sister started a couple years before me, and she's a couple years older. And I started at 7. We had the piano in the house already at my folks' house, and I just started tinkering around, and I asked for lessons one day. I said, I want to do this too. And so I started out on piano, or classical piano. And then at 12 is when I picked up the guitar.
Now, but just to back up a little bit, when your sister was playing piano and you were already playing drums, would you ever accompany her on drums?
I did.
Oh,
I did.
that's so great.
I did.
Oh,
Yes.
how cute.
I forgot what movie it was from, but Brian's song, the song. It was a movie theme. I can't remember what movie it was. 70s at some point. But she learned the song. It was one of the songs that she was learning, and then I just accompanied her on drums. At that time, I don't even think I had a full kit. It was just like a floor tom, a snare, and a cymbal, I think, and it was. I just had
That's
to,
awesome.
make do with what I had.
But that's cute. That's so you were already playing, but then you wanted to play piano. You wanted to expand your
Yes.
musical skills.
Exactly.
So you started
exactly.
guitar at 12.
Yes.
Did that become your primary instrument, or did piano say? Because we mainly see you playing guitar these days. So
Right.
when did guitar become your primary instrument?
Right around about 12 years old,
Okay.
I was in a band. It was a Kiss tribute band.
At 12, Kiss tribute. That's awesome.
And our one and only show, we performed for some friends and family. We even charged admittance. And
What was the
we feel
admission
bad about
charge?
that. It was like $15 or $10.
Oh, that was that
yeah.
much?
But
I thought it was going to be like 50 cents or something.
Yeah, well,
Oh, wow.
we tried to be entrepreneurs even then. But
That's wonderful.
they didn't know they were getting charged before they got there. So the look in their face was like, really? They played to the record. I was the only one playing. And we did the whole makeup thing and everything. But the guitar
wow.
player, he was doing his thing. And he had the 2 or 3 chords that he knew at the time. I was like, I think I could do that. So I talked my folks into getting me my first electric guitar from Sears. It was a Harmony guitar. And
awesome.
I just learned some power chords. And before I knew it, I was like, okay, this feels good. And that's all I wanted to do was play guitar.
Oh, that's great. So then you just really, but you maintained the other, or at least the piano. You still kept up your skills on
Definitely,
piano.
yes, I did. I
Okay.
did, yeah. And I, later on in high school and whatnot, I had some friends that were in college, and we put a variety band together, a top 40 band. And we didn't have certain pieces. We didn't have a keyboard player. We didn't have a bass player. We didn't have this player, that player. We had a drummer and I think a singer. And so I had to do tracks.
So you've been doing that for a long time.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's where I got my production start from, and arranging, is picking apart songs on the radio and having to learn the horn parts, having to learn the bass part, having to learn the strings, and then basically
So
record
you made
them.
all your own tracks. That's really, really cool, and it's definitely a challenge and not something that's easy to do. Speaking of which, why don't you share another original with us?
Sure. It's
What's the name of this one?
I call this Rhumba Delight. It's kind of a flamenco song.
And it's not on your new project, or
It is not. It's not.
Okay.
It's one I do play live
Okay,
quite
awesome.
a bit.
Rhumba
So,
Delight
yeah.
by DeSoto. Give me just a second to get this started. Okay, here we go. So great. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. And so that's one that you wrote. How long ago did you write that tune?
About a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay. So it's still
like
pretty
yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's very new. Yeah.
Okay. So because I hadn't heard it yet. Okay. So how long have you been living in the Valley? Because I know we've worked together for a couple of years.
I am actually born and raised here in Phoenix.
Wow, born and bred. That's great. I love getting people that have been here for like their whole lives on the show. That's great. That's awesome. Because the only reason why, it's not that people that have moved here aren't important, but it's more of a, when I moved here so long ago, everyone that I met didn't come from here. They were all from other places, and that's actually part of how Phoenix has become the 5th largest city in the U.S. so quickly, is because so many people have moved here, you know, so it's really unique to meet, or at least it always has been unique to meet people who've been here all their lives.
Exactly. Yeah, we're a rare breed.
Right? Well, it's changing, though, which is great, and so many of you are, you know, coming into your own and having your own music, and that's what I'm trying to promote here, is the local Phoenix sound, which is a variety of talent and different styles and musical sounds, and yours is a perfect example of that. Very unique, especially with this new project. I love the Conquest too. I mean, both of those are great tunes. What's your plans with the Conquest? When do you expect it to be released? And are you going to do a tour? And
I have the album that I've finished production a couple months ago, and I just finished the mastering, and so it's ready to go. We're working on the manufacturing aspect of it now, and getting them all packaged and everything, the cover art and whatnot. But really, the end-all thing here, what I'm really, one of the main goals is to put together a rather large show to really promote the album and just the whole idea of this new sound. And so as I'm recording this music, composing it, I'm realizing that this sound is so big, it's so epic, I guess.
Yes.
It just has this really big sound.
Epic, that's my first response when you sent me the album, was epic, which is just what you wanted. That's perfect.
That's what I was going for, and just this, I think now, as I was thinking about how to perform this stuff live, I'm thinking a regular band situation is not going to cut it.
No.
A lot of people know me from smooth jazz, and what I've done in that genre, and 4 or 5 piece band is not going to cut it. And so even just me playing solo, it's okay, but to really do it justice, I need a symphony. I need an orchestra.
Yes.
I need, so I'm going to make this a visual audio extravaganza with an orchestra and dancers.
Dancing girls.
Video. Exactly. Exactly.
That's so great. I heard that.
And exactly, I love dancing. I don't know much about it, but I think it'll add a lot to the show. And it's going to be different in a sense that the dancers aren't, even though they'll be important, they won't be, I don't want it to necessarily take away from the music at any time, because this is a music concert. So the dancing will enhance and really bring to life the music and the interpretation and the themes.
And that's the first thing I heard. I mean, you don't hear dancing, but like when I heard this, I was like, oh my gosh, I see show, I see lights, I see dancers, but still the focus being on the music.
Exactly.
Now,
Absolutely.
you have a lot of, speaking of the music, you have a lot of musical influences, it sounds. I mean, clearly there's a great variety. Who would you consider to be your greatest musical influences?
Oh, wow. Greatest musical influence.
Or greatest, or a few artists.
There's so many, and I usually tell people it depends on the genre, because I've studied so many genres and played so many different genres and listened to many genres, but everything from traditional jazz to fusion to pop, rock, even metal.
Oh wow.
I do a lot of that stuff too, and then I've also played a lot of Latin, so
definitely
and classical. So, but yeah, there's just so many different. I have so many influences. It's, I would say for guitar, Larry Carlton is one of my faves, and his sound is just so you can spot him out immediately, and to me that's important. And there's a lot of technical players out there, and that do this and that, but he definitely, like a Santana, someone like that. You play one or two notes, and you go, oh, I know who that is.
Exactly.
And he's got that. And in the contemporary jazz world, it's rare. It's hard to get your own sound, I think.
Definitely. But it's funny you mentioned Santana. I was hoping we could do a tune together.
That would be great.
Okay, cool. So we obviously have this planned out, which is why we have all these instruments here. Guys, if we can have you come in, please. We've got some of my regular players here trying to make their way through into the studio. So this was a tune that Jay's played, and it is a Santana tune, and it's Flor de Luna, which means moonflower. So the guys I've brought in here are some of my regular crew. We've got Robby Carrillo on the cajon, Mike De La Torre on the congas, no relation, and of course my husband Jorge De La Torre on the bass. So we're ready to start whenever you are. I'm so excited. This one's Carlos Santana's Moonflower featuring DeSoto. da da, but it was da 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 da. But you followed me. Thank you thanks for fixing that for me. How cool! Thanks so much, guys. That was so fun.
Awesome.
You're such a great player.
Thank you.
So we found out that my piano is tuned a little bit low, and so I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna have to play soft because you're tuned to A440, and so that's why I'm like not playing a whole lot because I don't want to be out. Thanks so much, Jorge and Mike and Robby. I'm gonna let you guys go and we finish up this interview here with Jay. Thanks so much for joining us today. So. Cool. Well, that was that. Okay, so that has a lot of. That sounds like definitely one of your influences, Santana, right?
Yes, one of my big influences, sure, on the Latin side.
On the Latin side,
exactly.
Precisely. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yes.
So, one thing I did notice is that when I'm listening to your music, your notes are very clear, even when you're like quote unquote shredding. Like there's one tune which sounds like an R&B groove or a funk groove when it starts out, and next thing you know he's got this metal guitar sound, but it's not like this annoying shredding which just like gets overwhelming. It's very clear. Every note is so clear, and I'm wondering, does that have anything to do with your technique? He had to get here an hour earlier than most people just so he could warm up, and I'm like, well, okay, that's fine, whatever you want. I want you to be comfortable. Tell us a little bit about your playing style.
Sure. It's a technique that I've studied for many years, 30 years, I guess. I mean, it's just an ongoing, I just gave away, somewhat my age here, dating myself. But it's a technique that can be used on any guitar, electric, acoustic, steel string, classical. It doesn't matter. It works great, and all it is, it's what's called alternate picking, and so it's very basic idea of it is just that of course you got to use a pick to begin with, but the stroke is a down up down up down up sort of pattern, and so but it's very precise. So it doesn't matter where I'm at with the strings on the fretboard. It doesn't matter if I have 3 notes with the left hand, 2 notes. It's always down, up with the right hand. Okay. And it gives a very precise sort of sound and consistent.
It sounds great.
And so that's...
And you use that on electric as well?
I do use that on electric as well.
Do you mind showing us a song where we can just kind of feature just you solo on guitar? And make sure you move the mic out of the way so we can get the camera on your strings. There we go. Okay, great. What do you call this tune? DeSoto Special number 1. So it's a total free improv. Complete improv. This is awesome. Hit it, man. Oh, that's so good. I have to ask you real quick. Did you play that loud when we were sound checking?
Somewhat.
I hope so. I hope it didn't clip. We'll find out. So where can anyone find any more information about DeSoto and your music and all that online?
Well, I just got my website going, and it is www.desotoguitar.com.
Good, and we'll get that on the screen here.
And so, yeah, you can hear some more samples from the album that's going to be coming out on the website as well.
And you have the art. You said the artwork's not quite finished.
Not yet. We're
Okay.
still figuring out what it's got to be something that's going to represent the state of being uninhibited with my music.
That's
so we were
wonderful.
thinking maybe my manager was thinking like a Mustang, like a horse or something, like a wild Mustang.
That sounds great.
And although. He came up with a really cool design, but it was a red Mustang because red is sort of my color, and so but it ended up sort of looking like a science project or like a open heart surgery or something like that. Very creative and artistic, but we might have to choose a different color than red.
That sounds awesome. Cool. Well, that's so that's where we'll be looking, DeSotoGuitar.com.
Yes.
To find all the updates. Maybe there's a mailing list that people can join to get information
There
about
is,
you?
yes.
Perfect.
Go to www.desotoguitar.com, and on the first homepage, you can put your name in there and an email and
get the latest updates?
Get the latest.
All right, awesome. What song would you like to finish with today?
This is, let's see, it's an Ottmar Leibert song, fine guitarist, and he had a very popular song, I think it was out in the 80s, maybe early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called Barcelona Nights.
You were telling me about this one, and I have heard it, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are familiar with it. They played it on all the smooth jazz stations, but this is my own version of it, arrangement. It's a little more dancey, I guess.
All right, that sounds great. Here we go. amazing. That's so good. You know what I really loved about that is that one of your strings went out a little bit in the middle, and you tuned it right there. You just tuned it right there. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Rebecca De La Torre, and this is Topkat Studios session with special guest DeSoto. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check him out at DeSotoGuitar.com. Find out about his new album, Uninhibited. Have a great night.